Hi there, my name is Rosie and I'm a visual effects trainer here at DNEG Vancouver.
And my name is Arna, and I'm one of the many animators here at DNEG.
At DNEG, we make visual effects for film and television. Our amazing visual effects teams around the world work on Marvel films like Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers and Ant-Man. And we've even created the magical visual effects for the universe of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Right here in this Vancouver-based studio, around 500 members of staff bring whole worlds, vehicles and creatures to life on a daily basis. We worked on projects for Disney like Togo, bringing to life superhero CG dogs. We've also created flying spaceships for futuristic movies such as Blade Runner 2049.
Our amazing team has even won Oscars and many other prestigious awards.
You may not realize it, but every single second of visual effects that's delivered to your screen takes a journey through a series of departments. Our artists divide up into these departments and work together as a team to create the final result.
Today, we're going to teach you how to take a computer-generated character and give life to it, just like our animation teams do.
Hey guys, and welcome to the DNEG animation tutorial. Before we dive in, I first want to explain a little bit about what animation actually is, sort of what the concept of animation is. So animation, if you want to explain it in a logistic terms, it's the illusion of movement by taking a bunch of images, a series of images, and show them very quickly right after each other. This creates this illusion that you have movement and that you have life. Now, back in the day, most animation was hand-drawn. So every animator had to be very good at drawing, and they had to do a lot of drawings. To be exact, they had to be able to do 24 drawings per every second. That's a lot of drawings in one movie. Now, they had some tricks up their sleeves. What they did back in the day, most of the time they would show every drawing twice. So that meant you only had to do 12 drawings for every second. It's still a lot. If you had some character that was just standing still, you could have that one drawing that you would just show for 1 second or how long that character was standing still. But if you have something moving very quickly, you gotta show all 24 drawings for every second. Today, we don't draw as much anymore. Today, traditional hand-draw animation still exists, but it's not as popular as it was 30, 40, 60 years ago. Instead, most of the animated movies you see today are made with 3D. That means that animators like myself use 3D models inside 3D software in the computer, where I work in a three-dimensional environment. So let me show you. So let me introduce you guys to the DNEG Bunny. The DNEG Bunny is a 3D model inside a three-dimensional environment using a software called Autodesk Maya. This is a piece of software that most visual effects studios today use, and it's one that we use at DNEG, and especially at the animation department. This is the software we use. So the DNEG Bunny is a model, and around this model, you will notice all these yellow and blue and red boxes and other shapes. These are called controllers. And what these controllers do is that they move the rig, which is the skeleton that has been put inside of this puppet in order to move it around. So what I do as an animator is that I select these controllers and I move them around. And immediately it brings a little life to our little character here. So I can move his head, and I can move his little arms around. He can wave, and he can do all those things. So he has a controller for each very important part of his body that needs to be able to move around. So in animation, we work with two types of movement. We work with translation, and we work with rotation. Now, translation, that is the movement back and forward, or up and down, or side to side, or up and down, you see. Whereas rotation is, you guessed it, it's when you rotate something around. most controllers can both rotate and translate. Now this only shows you how to move the character around, but animating it is a whole different process on its own. And what I want to do is just step by step take you through how I create a piece of animation. And the first thing that I do as an animator is I shoot reference. So let me show you some stuff that I shot back at home in my garage. I set an assignment for myself that I was gonna animate our little bunny here. I was gonna animate him jump. So the first thing I had to do is figure out, well, what does a jump actually look like? I work with creating very realistic motion, so I can't make this stuff up. I have to really shoot some reference and look at reference and analyze what does it really look like. So let me show you what I did. I took a couple of takes, but here's a jump that I thought was kind of cute and funny. I do a little funny thing with my arms. So the first thing I gotta do is I have to pinpoint my key poses. So like I told you before, every single second has 24 frames in it. Whereas back in the day, it was 24 drawings or 12 drawings. But today we just work with the frames and we work with poses. So instead of drawing every pose, we use our rig here to pose it out. But first, I look at what does that pose actually look like. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find my first key pose. And I'm wiggling around a little bit. And you know what? I think my first key pose is right here. It's sort of a very strong pose. I have a strong silhouette. And I can see it's right before I'm about to jump. So I'm gonna make sure when I do my animation that the first pose I do, I pull the arm back, I pull his one leg forward, the other leg back, and I lead my character forward a little bit. But then I gotta do my next key pose and my next key pose and my next key pose. So what I did is I analyzed all these poses and I drew them on a little piece of paper. And then what I did is I took all of these controllers and I set keys. So the first key was just a normal one. And then I moved forward and then I set another key where he is. The butt has gone lower and he's leaning a little forward, just as I was doing in my reference. And then the next thing, oh, and he's leaning a little more forward here, I decided. But this is exactly what I was doing in my reference as well. And this is my anticipation. And then I put a pose here. Look, where his legs are totally stretched. This is exactly what I was doing in my reference as well. Here, look at that. So this is all the same principles, even though obviously me and Bunny don't look anything alike. I can still use myself as reference to find out how Bunny should move. And now I have him moving up and up and up, and his little bunny legs are bent and his arms have come down again, and his body is at the highest. And then we continue forward, and then I have my next key where the feet are on the ground, like I was pinpointing before as well. And then we land and he leans a little forward and does a little extra jump, kind of like I was doing in my reference as well. I've obviously changed it up a little bit and so on. But when we play it back, kind of have a little hop there. You can see it without the controls on. He's doing a little hop. Just a very quick little animation.
Thanks for watching our animation workshop today. So what's next? Well, you can follow this link to our website to find out more information.
Today could be the first step on your journey to becoming a visual effects artist. Who knows what amazing visual effects you could be a part of creating in the future?